Right. I get it. I get it. I get it. So has anybody ever
Oh, and
drank
to
his
answer the
sperm?
no, hell no. Hell, well, you told
He
me what's the
never.
name? What's the name? You told me that what's the name gave him head, so I don't
He
know.
said he did. It's on YouTube, Musa, and it's a long video. I would have to find the video and also get the timestamp. But yeah, Musa said I even sucked your dick.
So if he said it himself, then like I'm sure maybe him, maybe. It's a high possibility, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You got to ask him about that. But as far as the other men, see, a lot of shit came out afterwards. Like I didn't know that at all. So like I don't know if anybody else did know shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, Musa. No, he wasn't speaking figuratively. He told me he sucked Nature Boy's dick. He sucked his
So
dick.
hold on.
There's no one around it. He sucked the man's dick. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know for a fact. I've interviewed Musa. I've talked to him over the phone. Musa has sucked Nature Boy's dick. And from my understanding, Solar has too. Whether they want to admit it or not, it happened. We're gonna get into it. This is an interview, and
So I want to say something. I want to say something about
go
that.
ahead.
Like I want people to understand the dynamic of like the fucking situation. So like there was a like after Mexico, after Panama, there was like an A team and a B team. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like I think I
You
did. Maybe
did.
y'all can go back and
Get
watch it.
into it.
So with
Get into
that,
it.
okay, okay. So the B team they handled like B team was really the musicians. To be honest with you, like me, Caliber, Kite, uh, type shit. Like me, Caliber, Kite, and like everybody else that was new, like and shit like that. But if anybody, I guess he was thought he could use financially or use like outside of the tribe, like as far as driving cars, like licensed people or like people of age that could handle finances and shit like that, like um or trusted enough to handle whatever how he felt. He or brought in money, like some shit like that. He would put him on A team or some shit like that. It's like, oh, you can handle this or whoop de boo. And he kept those people close, way closer than B team, like way closer. Like motherfuckers would be having oh, A team meeting this or like shit like that. Like you know what I'm saying? So like he was a lot closer to the people that was A team, which was Musa, Solar, Loyal, uh, Musa, Solar, Loyal, and Aaron.
Mm, okay.
Niggas was always
Musa
shitting on the B
Solar.
team. You heard me? Niggas was always shitting on the B team like we wasn't shit, but like motherfuckers was always pulling in the views and shit like that. Like we would all like our music, all of that shit. When we came on camera, we was like them niggas. So like a lot of the times he was jealous because he's insecure. Like you gotta think, I took Malia Caliber, almost took Velvet, Afro, motherfucking all of that type shit. So it's like this nigga really didn't like us.
Wow, wow. There's so many things to get into. I want to get into the pregnancies of the women of Ephro having her he made Ephro have an abortion. I want to know, did Malia ever get pregnant by you? There's so you guys, there's so many things
No,
to get into.
Malia never got pregnant by me at all. Hell no.
Did she get pregnant
But
at
Efru
all?
got pregnant. No, hell no. But Efru got pregnant by Caliber twice, and he made her abort the baby twice.
Wow. There's another bomb.
Yeah,
Damn.
and yeah. On God, that shit's crazy.
How did she
Out of
abort
his
the
own
baby?
interview, I believe through like Plan B's or like hibiscus or like anything else he just nigga come up with. I don't fucking know, but it probably does.
Sunflower, we'll get into that the abuse. That's the abuse part of it. We're gonna get back into that. Oh wow. Okay, so now at this time during this interview, we have definite proof that Nature Boy is aggressive by nature. He's also dealt with underage children. So I want to bring it up a little bit because there's so many more things. This interview can go on forever. I'm just
Yeah,
really
it really can. On
done.
some real like it's 4 years. It's really like 7 years of information. This is ridiculous.
It is. Okay, so let's talk
But
about
yeah.
you. Okay, so we were talking about you and him being attracted to you when you found out he was attracted to you.
Mhm.
Um, Had he ever, you said he never tried to have sex with you, but he did.
No, but I did
Tell
give
us about
him
the
a
incident, the
fucking.
jack off incident. Explain to
You
us
said what?
exactly. Go into detail about the jack off incident because
Bro, this is what
I
happened.
still
I'll
don't
tell you the
understand
story,
what
and this is my
exactly happened.
last time explaining this shit because I really don't like talking about it because this nigga
I
so
know you don't
fucking
like talking
put the
about it, but
actions
come on.
to this shit. I got you. Basically, it was like I was called up there to. This was Atlanta. Let me give you the whole shit. We was in Atlanta. This is right before he got arrested. So this is the very end. Like this is the end of all ends. This is about right before this nigga get locked up, right? And he's all full mode crazy. You know what I'm saying? Full on fucking fucked up, right? Letting his demons out and all that shit. This nigga called me upstairs. I go up there, Caliber up there, Solar up there, Moose up there, and maybe Loyal, maybe in like the bedroom part or whatever, but the doors are open or whatever. This nigga called me up there and everything like that. This nigga and all the women, them niggas is naked. Them niggas is just be honest, them niggas is naked, right? I'm like, I'm fully clothed. I got my shit on, all everything like that. This nigga is in front of his shower, looking at himself in the mirror, looking at himself. The women touching all of his shit, and we'll do this nigga trying to have a normal conversation with me. I'm over here hella uncomfortable. This is psychological rape, right? I'm like, what the, or psychological molestation, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? And at this point, I'm not about to sit here and goddamn, y'all gotta understand. This nigga would have, if I would have just been like, hell no, I'm about to walk away, like, fuck this shit, like, what the fuck is going on, right? And all those people's there. I would first of all be looking like, oh, this something dangerous could have happened to me. I'm saying pretty much if I just was like, if I just completely left, like, oh fuck that shit, like hell no. It was all situations was dangerous. I want y'all to know that. Like shit was like walking on fucking ice with this nigga. So like, anyways, this nigga's looking at himself in front of his mirror, playing with himself, and the women is touching all over him and all this shit, right? And this is probably a 5 minute interaction, right? A 5 minute interaction before I was quote unquote dismissed, right? Going back to about my business and whatnot. This nigga, like probably 3, 4 minutes to the fucking conversation, he's not even talking to me. There's hella people there. He's not even talking to me. And then this nigga once was like, oh my God, look at, he looked over to me. He was like, oh, look at Pice. He looked like a cheetah. Went back to looking at his self and everything, and then Sheba was like, "Oh, he or somebody." I really don't remember who the fuck it was. It was really multiple women like, "Oh yeah, whoop de whoop, he kind of do." I'm like, okay, whatever. Niggas is acting like they cats and shit like that and whatnot. So whatever. And then I was dismissed. This nigga Solar, after he left, out of his own trying to get back at Nature Boy, trying to make him seem, trying to expose Nature Boy, just worded that shit completely wrong. Like, yeah, I got a video of him masturbating the fucking pipes, whoop de woo. Like, I talked to that nigga, like, why the fuck would you say that? Like there was no one, you made it, you did not explain that well, you know what I mean, at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was that. That was that situation.
Solar also made a comment. He said he has many videos of Nature Boy, one of which he has you guys standing around in a circle and you guys all had to jack off to Nature Boy's voice. Do you recall
Well,
that?
what the fuck? Hell no. Nah. Ask him about that video. Ask him to show you the video and be like, look for me. And yeah, I bet you won't see that much. Bet you. Hell no, nigga.
You know about any of
Maybe
them
he got
standing
a
around in a
maybe he
circle
got a
jacking off to Nature Boy's
my nigga, Cherry, I would never do no shit like that. Hell no.
I know you wouldn't. I
But
didn't
no,
say you. I said any of them.
maybe them, maybe them, maybe he got a video like that. You know what I'm saying? Of him doing some shit like that. Of them, like I said, there was like he kept them closer. You understand? They would know. Like I would
Mm.
never, and let alone like, why would they come out and be like? Because they probably felt raped. They probably felt psychologically raped. They probably felt like they was going through some shit. Like, why the fuck would they just be like, hey, y'all, they didn't tell us no shit like that. 18 would never tell no shit like that. They tried to keep up the facade of being like they was something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Okay, so this is what I want to get into really quick. Zoka's baby. Zoka's baby has been the question. Zoka and Solar's baby has been the question. Do you tell us what you know as far as the baby when she went into labor? What happened? Where did she go? because there's been so many stories. I don't know if you heard Fifi tell her story about what happened. She told a story about what happened. The other lady, the nature boy, what is that lady's name? And I did a whole live about her. The girlfriend, the other girlfriend. She was a really big supporter.
You talking about
Not Scale, not Scales, the
Bambi?
other lady. No, no, no,
I
no,
don't know.
no. This was a lady that was a supporter. She was a supporter on Big O, and then she is now a girlfriend. Oh, what I could see
Yeah.
her face, but I can't remember her name.
Describe what she looks like for me. Maybe I can come up with you a name.
She's fair. Elway. There we go. Elway the God. Elway the
Okay, yeah, I
God.
know. I know about Elway.
Okay, Elway was supposed to come and help deliver Zoka's baby. So was Seven. Now, I have a few questions about that. Number one, was Seven on the compound when Zoka was pregnant in Puerto Rico?
No. Well, she can't yeah, at one point, but not when she was in labor and shit like that. She had been like
Oh, okay. So what she said was definitely true, but she did know Zoka was pregnant.
yeah, she was there for maybe a month or like maybe a couple like maybe 3 weeks or some shit like that, but maybe even less than that to be honest with you. I honestly forgot she was there until you said something just now. But she was there for a short brief time.
Okay, who was supposed to deliver Zoka's baby?
The fucking hospital. This is my first time hearing that there was people that were supposed to be medullas. I guess I didn't know Seven and Elway were supposed to be medullas. Y'all gotta understand, he kept a lot of secrets. So like a lot of the times, a lot of shit that gets exposed comes out from those specific people because they were the only people that knew because he was so manipulative. He didn't want everybody to know what he was doing because they would probably put shit together that he didn't want to be put together or like expose him for being somebody that he was pretending to be and he's not that. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of shit was kept secret. But from what I know, this is what I know, my experience. My experience, from what I've been told, and from what I know, Zoka was pregnant and whatnot, and I guess Solar was like, she don't need to be drinking or whatever. Because, like I said, he always was insecure about women that did not want to be with him or that would like never be with him or it would look bad to be with them. But he wanted them, even if they was pregnant or not. So I guess he had her drinking one night, and Solar found out and was like, "Stop that shit." But I guess in that interaction, they had sex while she was pregnant. I didn't know that until like maybe a week ago because I people tip me up and stuff like that. But yeah, they had sex while she was pregnant, drunk. I think that's rape. I think that is rape. I think that's rape. But um, yeah, because she was under the influence and whatnot, and probably in her right mind would not do no shit like that. So and I'm sure he coerced her into doing it just like he did with Janae. Same shit, same exact shit, same principle being broken. But anyways, yeah, so that happened, and I guess she was about to be in labor maybe a couple weeks or some shit like that, or maybe 2 weeks. I don't know, but yeah, that fucking happened. That's crazy. That's wild. It's not okay. That's foul. That's disgusting. That's ill, and that's wicked. And that's what I know. And then she went to the hospital and everything like that. And when she went to the hospital, from what Solar had said, she had a baby. The baby was deceased. He held the baby and gave the baby back to the doctors, and then they came home. You see what I'm saying?
They left the baby at the hospital?
I mean, I think they would have to, wouldn't they? I mean, a deceased child.
No,
They didn't come up with.
no, they don't have to. What they do is you can have a funeral. So there was no funeral for baby love. They just left her there.
I don't know. You have to ask him. From what he told me, he gave the.
I did ask him. He told me he left the baby at the hospital.
That's what he told me too. So boom, there it is.
He left the baby at the hospital and he cut all ties there, which probably he probably didn't have any money to have a funeral.
Yeah, or something like yeah, you know. But he was
So
extra upset. He was extremely upset.
they both were. I seen that. I seen Solar. I didn't think he was gonna make it, honey. I really didn't. I seen him. He was extra upset. You're right.
Yeah, he was like,
Um,
yeah,
he loved that baby. He wanted that baby. That is crazy. That can really break a person. Okay, so Solar had the baby. The baby was born at the hospital. There's no burning the baby and all that. They can kill that. I knew they didn't burn the baby. Fifi gonna talk about they buried the baby up on that mountain with her ignorant ass. But anyways, Okay, so the baby is deceased and you guys are
It's the
going through
rape for
the
me. I'm
motion.
sorry. It's the rape for me. That whole situation where he had sex with her pregnant, drunk, is that's the part.
I was
That's
just
the
getting
part
ready
y'all
to go
need to
back
be
and
paying
say
attention to.
that.
Y'all do not need to be, yeah, that's part to me, for me personally, is fucking wild. Like that shit right there had me like that shit got me hot for real. That shit got me tight. I ain't gonna
But
lie.
when I asked her about it, she said she wasn't raped. She's saying that because we know she has Stockholm syndrome. But this is my
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I'm saying. Like, you
Why?
know, she's saying that out of denial.
Right. So were you there when she was being raped?
Man, hell no. Hell no. What you
So
mean?
you
Like,
this is something
was
you
I in the
heard.
trunk? What do you mean in term? Was I there physically seeing it, or did I? Because I no,
Were
hell
you
no.
there anywhere on the compound at the time when
Probably
Zoka was
so.
by nature when
Probably
she was
so.
pregnant?
Probably so. Most
Okay.
likely. Most
Who
likely.
told you that Zoka was raped while being pregnant?
Well, it was just speculation, but it was nobody from the tribe. It was just somebody that kept up with it's just somebody that an online supporter that keeps up with everything that goes on there. So she was
But an
telling me
online
about
supporter is different from somebody actually being there in the house.
oh no, nobody in the house said that. Nope. Why would someone in the house say that? You know what I mean?
Well,
You
Solar
got to
said
think
that
about the
Velvet, I mean not
practicality.
Velvet, excuse me, Velvet said it as well. Velvet and Solar both said that Zoka was raped multiple times by Nature Boy while she was pregnant.
See, this is my first time hearing that. I only knew about that one situation.
Oh, one situation. Okay, do you know at any point in time of Nature Boy throwing away Zoka's food while she was pregnant?
No, hell no. I mean, he probably did some shit like that, but not that I know of. It's not outside of his character to do some foul shit like that. But
But
do I
as far
know?
as
No,
you know,
no.
did you hear about when he raped all the women at the house, the first house in Puerto Rico, when he took all the wives back? And he
No.
raped Syrian so bad that it took her a year to heal anally?
Who?
Nature Boy.
Has
Oh,
anything
excuse me,
to
it
do
was in Baja, Cal. Well, Baja's not in California. Baja's actually in Mexico. Sunflower. He was in. They were in Baja, to be
Nah,
exact.
I didn't know that.
Sunflower. They're in
Nope.
Baja.
I didn't know that. Like I said, he
They
like
were at the
we
house in Baja.
for example, like we were in a whole separate house. We were in a whole separate
You guys.
Airbnb house, whatever you gonna call it. And they was in a
Mm-hmm.
whole miles and miles away. So when that shit happened, nah, I didn't know that.
Okay. So we've been on the rape, Nature Boy. I want to skip around just a little bit, you guys. Okay, bear with me. Now, during this time that you were there and Loyal was there, how did Nature Boy treat Loyal? Because he called Loyal his Enoch. What was the word he used? Sister, give me the right word.
Wife? What do you mean? Sister wife? What are you talking about?
No, he gave Loyal a name, and I believe it was Enoch or Enoch, a nuke.
Oh, hold
Eunuch.
on, hold on.
Eunuch. He
Unit,
named
unit,
Loyal his
unit,
eunuch.
unit. Oh, this is what
What?
that was so situation. That this is what happened, right? With the naming. So what's your question? How did he get the name?
No, not how
Or
did he
what?
get the name. What did you visually see? How did you visually see him treating Loyal? And why did he name Loyal his eunuch? It's a two-part question.
Okay, so what I visually seen was him leaving, Loyal leaving, right? And then right before he came back, he was on live and he was saying that he is done with women. He was like, man, I'm just gonna be as a joke. He was like, I'm gonna rename myself eunuch on some shit because I'm not dealing with women as like a joke. And then when he actually arrived, he was just outperforming the women as far as like needs and services, such as like bringing them shit like that, like a towel or some food or like some shit like that. Because, like I said, he kept 18 closer, so he was 18, so he was always around. And not only did Loyal happily do the shit he wanted to, and he liked the attention he was getting from like a leaky hoe like the whole time. So like, and he was using that to make the women perform in his eyes at a higher, like at a more like something
Standard.
that fits he yeah, his standards were like a better standard. He was like, how the fuck is he doing this shit better than y'all? Like, how the fuck is he like he'll get up quicker than y'all. He'll get up quicker than y'all and do some shit like whoop de whoop. Like that was the whole shit.
Do you believe that Loyal and Nature Boy had a special relationship, or a
You mean
sexual relationship?
nah, but who knows though? From what you told me, probably. I think maybe. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think it's highly possible.
Possible. Why did Nature Boy considered Loyal a eunuch? Because he called him his eunuch too. He told Loyal, he said, "You are my eunuch." Why?
I'm trying to tell you, it was a seed that Loyal planted in his head before that he even arrived. He was alive. He was like,
Mm.
before he came back, he was saying, I'm done with women, whoop de woo. Because that was the whole reason why he left in the first place, is because of women. He was like dealing with women and shit like that. He like, he could fuck somebody raw on his bed or some shit like that. He was left. He was like, oh, you disrespectful, you gotta go. So when he decided to come back, that was like his, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like his like self reflection, I guess, in a way to put it.
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna deal with women. I'm a eunuch type shit. I'm just gonna be a eunuch. You
Wow.
know, this is
Wow.
insane. This nigga, what's the name? Is insane. Alihi ho ass nigga is insane. Like this nigga basically probably was like, oh yeah, he think he God and shit like that. This is my eunuch. This is my special motherfucker that can
He
serve
did.
me that I don't have to
Hmm.
worry about. Because you got to think that would feed into his insecurities too. He probably wanted all the men to be eunuchs. You know what I mean? That fed into his insecurities, wanted to have all the women. So it was like, at least I don't got to worry about him type shit.
Wow. So, how do you feel like he treated Loyal?
Just like that, he bigged his head up. You know what I'm saying? Because he thought that all the men should be like loyal, like be on like
Loyal.
the type time where yeah, like loyal type shit. Like in his mind, not having no women and serving him in any which way he pleases, as far as anything, it could be fucking anything, is like the epitome of what a man should be doing in the tribe or some shit like that. But yeah, that's how he viewed him. He viewed him like, oh yeah, this is somebody I can easily manipulate, pretty much.
Well, while we're on the subject of Loyal, let's talk about Loyal's death.
Please do.
Do you feel like that message in the window was written for you guys, for carbonation members or ex carbonation members?
Listen, it's too much. Like I would have to speculate a little bit more, but like, see, because it wouldn't make sense. Like that shit wouldn't make no like like I said in the first interview, it's either for us or throw the police off. It could be either one. I believe it could be either one. The more
Right.
the story comes out, the more things get revealed. I can come up with an actual conclusion to answer that. But right now, I feel like it was either to throw the police off in terms of maybe they knew something about him. He was in a cult. Like this is a perfect way to make the cops think like it was connected to the cult and not them that actually murdered him.
Or
Or it was a straight up I'ma kill this nigga for Nature Boy. You know, it was either one of those.
I don't think it was either one because of the newspaper articles and because of the conversation I had with his sister. But I'm not going to get into that. But what I do want to ask you, because that's separate, what I do want to ask you is, do you think possibly that message could have been a positive message because he knew that he was in some shit, and he knew his days were numbered on this earth. So, and he knew that you guys would see the message. So do you think that that could have just been a message to tell you guys to just keep on keeping on, you know,
It
after
could
he
have
was
been.
gone?
It could have been. It could have been, but that don't sound like him. From from who I know him to be, that don't really sound like him. That sound like that's a possibility, but like that don't sound like him at all.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't for you because of the relationship that you and him had, but it could have been for Solar. It could have been for any one of you guys. The reason why I say that is because He knew he was in some shit. He knew he was living at a trap house. He knew he was doing drugs, and he knew he was running dope. He knew these things. And also he knew that if he didn't come up with the dope man's money, that they was gonna kill him. Exactly what happened.
Now, can I tell you
He got
something that's a
up
spit
at
in
the
the face
trap
to
house.
me? Can I tell you something that's a spit in the face to me and everybody else?
Go ahead.
These are the type of conversations that we would have with him all the fucking time. Like before
That's
he
what's so
left. Like literally, we'll be like for years telling this nigga like, bro, you're not like that. If you ever try some shit that was like that, you would probably end up dead because you don't know what the fuck you're doing and you wasn't raised like that, nigga. So stop goddamn pretending. You need to chill the fuck out because you would end up dead out of love. And the way he responded was fucking hateful. The way he responded was like basically fuck you. And even in his actions, actions speak louder than words. If you have people that support you, that are telling you not to do this, and you like fuck y'all basically, like, and then still treat you like shit on a daily basis, and like egotistical, arrogant, disrespectful, racist, and the list goes on. It's just like, why would I even give a fuck about your death when you? And this is just my First Amendment right. Y'all can feel any type of way y'all can feel, and that's by all means okay with me. But y'all not finna sit here and tell me how to feel about this man's death when I know for a fact I've had that what you just said, but we predicted his death pretty much. We predicted that was the way he was gonna die if he ever like carried that fake ass persona around in the real world. Luckily, you were isolated and we could sit here and talk to you about that shit. But like, yeah, like he wanted to do those things, and we were like advising him not to, like plenty of times. Like, and it's just like for him to go out that way is a complete slap in the face because it's like, nigga, we warned you, and now look at you.
Right.
And it wouldn't be like that if he wasn't. It wouldn't even be that type of response from me if he would have responded like, okay, I can consider what you're saying. Like, okay, maybe you're right. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe I should like slow down and calm down and like rethink the way that I want to act in my personality and shit like that, and be in my actions and stuff like that. Maybe I should consider it. But that wasn't in his person. That wasn't in his responses for years. His response was really "fuck you," like literally. So yeah, like I mean, I wasn't surprised when it happened. The world may have been surprised, but I wasn't. I wasn't surprised, not one motherfucking bit. I didn't even know he was in a trap house, but I knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? So like, cause he told me, and it's like I believed him because why would he lie about doing the things he was doing when I know for a fact this is the type of lifestyle that he wanted to live? It's like a white boy trying to be black. It's like a white boy trying to be hood, a white boy trying to be gangster, a white boy trying to be like that was, or even a black boy. Even it doesn't matter. It's someone that was not raised in that type of environment, somebody that did not have to do those things to survive, but wanted to because you thought it was cool. And nigga, that shit ain't cool because you get up in jail or dead or even like real shit. And it's just like for those things to happen, I'm not one surprised, and two, I don't feel bad at all because I warned him. Not even just me, multiple people. So it's like, I mean, if he had that message on the window, maybe I don't know, but it could be a multitude of things. It could be somebody throwing off the police because if he was connected to somebody that was doing dope, I'm sure that they wanted to have research on who they were dealing with. So I'm sure they found out some type of information, perhaps. So it could have been them,
Mm-hmm.
or it could have been a hate crime, whatever. But it was most likely them niggas he was dealing with, the niggas that we pretty much type of person that we warned him not to deal with, and boom, there it is.
Definitely.
He ended up dead, and I'm not afraid to be like, nigga, I told you so, even after he died, because I've been telling him that. Period.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I agree with you, and I know I definitely believe that it definitely was not connected to carbonation or
So it's like,
ex-carbonation members or Juju or Jax.
so this nigga died on
So
his own terms that we warned him about. It's like literally. So it's like,
that's true.
yeah, nigga, I don't care. I already
That's true.
cared enough.
That's definitely true. Okay, so what I want to do right now is I'm gonna go ahead. Before we get into, I want to get into a little bit more about Loyal's death, and I also want to get into Nature Boy's case.
Okay.
So, but I want to do that in another part. I don't want to do it tonight. I want to do it in another part.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
what I want to do is I'm going to let people go ahead and ask questions. Star Moon, has a few questions, and I'm going to read her questions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, have y'all been concerned? Okay, so one question she asked was, have any of the members been concerned that they will catch whatever Malia has? Because we all know Malia
Nigga,
is sick.
motherfucker, nigga. Me,
What is it
goddamn.
that
I was
Malia
like,
has? What do you
I
know
don't
that
fucking
Malia
know.
has?
Nigga, I don't fucking know. And the reason I'm so passionate about this shit is because like, nigga, I had
Yes.
sex with her. Like, I don't know what the bitch had. If even if she did have something, because
Oh, so
according
you
to the
did have
medical
sex with
records,
Malia?
yeah, when we was in Panama, so like, but I have no fucking. Anyways, let me get to what I'm saying before I say what I was about to say. I was about
Go
to say,
ahead.
based upon the actual medical records, because everyone knows she went to the hospital and everything
Yes.
like that. When they came back, they actually had the medical records of like what what she had and what she didn't have, and she didn't have anything.
So it didn't say she had HIV and she was undetectable,
Yeah, it did not
undetected.
say that. It did not. Yeah, it literally did not say nothing about you having AIDS, nothing about her having HIV or fucking chlamydia or gonorrhea and all of the fucking above. It said nothing based off the actual meta. If y'all can find that live, by all means, go research because like the motherfucker was on live showing that the fresh off the bat medical records that just was like, you know what I mean?
So she didn't have herpes like everybody else has
Look, bro, like I said, from the medical records, according to the medical records, no.
at that point in time. But we all know she has herpes right now. I can
You
Let
gotta
me
caught
tell
that
you
shit
something.
afterward.
Okay. Okay. So let me tell you something. Velvet has
I'm
admitted
listening.
that she has herpes. Janae has admitted that she has herpes. Efru has admitted that she has herpes. What is that light skinned pretty one's name that was over there with the little voice, the prostitute? What was her name? With the curly hair.
Um,
Niza admitted she had herpes.
yeah, you
Niza.
talking about Niza? You talking about
The
Niza?
list
Yeah.
goes on. Shit. What is that other one? Syrian admitted she had herpes. Damn near all the women, including Nature Boy, have herpes. So I'm sure if they got it, I know Solar got to have herpes. I know Musa got to have herpes. Like, yeah.
Well, I never showed those
So,
symptoms and no shit like that. Like I don't burn, no shit
but
like
if
that,
you
no
don't have
bumps, no
herpes,
shit like
you came in fresh and you left and you weren't really having sex. You know how many people did you have sex with in
my
carbonation?
baby mama and her. Look, my baby mama and no one
So
has sex
that's
with my
why
baby
you don't
mama.
have herpes. So
You feel
you
me?
got a hold of Malia. You got a hold of Malia before she got herpes. So Malia got
Yeah,
herpes after that, which makes sense because we're around the time she got really, really sick. And you weren't having sex with her then. Okay. So yeah, you probably don't have herpes.
you
I would
feel
agree
me?
with that. Now, I got one big question because we got
Mm-hmm.
to, you guys, we're going to do another part to this interview. It's so long. I got so many questions. And Star Moon, I'm going to finish asking your questions, but I do want to ask this. Do you know if it is true or not that Nature Boy has HIV?
Mm, that shit I don't know. I personally, in my opinion, I have no evidence. I think he do, especially of his past and all of that shit. Like he was a prostitute and all that type. Well, a male stripper. I'm fucking sure this nigga got that shit, but I have no evidence.
Okay. So let me go ahead and ask you the questions of my supporters. Let me finish asking Star Moons, and then we're gonna go. If you got a question, put it in the comments. Give me a minute. We're gonna start with Star Moons. I'll ask you the questions, Pice, so then that way we can get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have y'all ever been concerned that you will catch? Okay. What if they thought that something may be wrong? Why did you stay? What do you mean,
Like
Star Moon? I don't
concerning
understand. Oh, why did you stay when all the confusion was going on? She wants to know why did you stay?
the fucking gaslighting. Like it was, it was a multitude of reasons. Number one, I outside of the bullshit was already
Hmm.
focused on the music and everything like that because we was making a lot of connections. Like I don't know if y'all know who Big Scar is, the
I
rapper
do.
who had died. His producer, band play, and the dude with the red hair, Sauce Poppy, him. they're all like industry producers and stuff like that. So like I was seeing a lot of progression as far as the music and like being able to
Ooh, Sauce Poppy. Go ahead.
the dude with the red dreads.
I know who Sauce Poppy is. He's the one that fucked that fruit. Go ahead.
This man made some of Big Scar's music, his beats.
Okay, I believe it. He is. Yes,
He,
he is in the
he,
industry.
he used to come to the garage and we used to make
Mm-hmm.
music. He used to have beats for free, industry quality beats for free.
Wow.
So in my mind, as the years went on, like a lot of like Tank, that nigga had a party down the street from where we fucking lived.
Right.
Uh,
You guys all went.
people in the no, I didn't fucking go or no shit like that.
You
I
didn't
was
go?
focused on my no hell no. But
Nature Boy
like
went with the. Mm-hmm.
so like so boom, they had a part. Tank had a party. Like who else? Battle rappers knew about him that had interactions with him and stuff. So it was like I seen the opportunity. I seen opportunity. Like I could make music and really put my foot in the door. So that was one reason. Another reason, he kept a lot of secrets. Not only did he keep a lot of secrets, you think I would have stayed if I would have known all of this shit, like the 16-year-old or the rape or no
No,
shit
I
like
don't
that?
think you
Hell
would have
no.
stayed. No,
You
because
see what
you
I'm
can get.
saying? Hell no. You see what I'm saying? So like there was a lot of secrets. There was a lot of gaslighting and manipulation. So like say if something was off that happened, it was easily manipulated to be like it wasn't what it was type shit, or like niggas
Right.
is just trolling, or like everything everybody else is saying is just wrong, and you got to look at it from this perspective, and like this is what really is going on. When actuality, it is what everybody else is saying. So like that's another reason. So it was like that's why I stayed.
Okay. Why didn't you do any research before you went over there to Nature Boy?
I did hella research. I did hella research, but the things that I found out, the one thing that was a little bit alarming was the video when he was like, "Oh, I let my fucking son touch my penis and whoop de woo." And I was like, "Is
Right.
he saying like he's saying played?" But is I don't think. But from what I know now, it's probably he's a pedophile who's just in denial of it. But like I was like, okay, so what do you mean by that? And from what he explained, he was like, out of purity, because he's a nudist. He added like he didn't feel no type of way about it. Like it wasn't like he was trying to fuck his son or no shit like that, or
Mhm.
like have sex with his son, or like having his son give him a hand job or anything like that. I think as a child, walking up to, not saying this is okay by any means, or like I would do no shit like this or anything like that, but I can see how a child not knowing what genitals are would like around somebody like him being naked and shit like that might have touched him. The nigga was okay with it and like shit like that. But this nigga was like, that was the only thing. And I was like, well, based upon everything else that he's doing, that little flaw right there, I really didn't see it as pedophile energy, like because of the way that he explained it. But over the years, knowing who he actually is, I think he was just in denial of his pedophilia. And I think that that situation should have never happened with his son. But outside of that, like that little bit of information, I was like, okay, he used to be a male stripper. Okay, there's strippers all the time. There's IG models that strip. There's all type of people that fucking strip. Like I was like, right, what else? Like he was a barber and he had connections with celebrities and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, he was in foster care. All right, like this is normal activity. Like this is not no crazy out of the ordinary ass like mind blowing information that would make me be like judge you as a person. Like because of everything
Right.
else that he was doing. Like this is just someone's past. Like I'm not really tripping on someone's past, especially because we all come from like situations and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean. So I was really not tripping. But like I said, a lot of the information that was serious was withheld. Like that 16-year-old, that was withheld information. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the whole leaving that area, Costa Rica, and all that shit was like the news have videos of them being like taken off a bus and treated some type of way on the plane and all of
Mm-hmm.
that shit. So like motherfuckers, that was catching my eye more than anything, and let alone I didn't even know that situation, that actual situation, why he actually left. you know what I mean, was the 16-year-old girl and everything like that. I just found that out tonight. So it's like a lot of the important information that would like make me reconsider going there was withheld and hidden.
Damn. Okay. So, did you know of Sauce Poppy sleeping with Efru?
Man, hell no, because when he came, the first couple times that I met the man was just like real chill. Dude was real like chill. He had his wife and all of that shit and kid
Mm-hmm.
and he was just chilling. I didn't really think to and then I didn't think that he would do no shit like that. But what made me think he wouldn't do no shit like that was like one time Nature Boy, Alihi Ho was like this whole ass nigga, he was like, man, I fuck with Sauce cause I said so. He asked Sauce like, "What do you think about my wives?" And Sauce was like, "I don't even know what the fuck they look like," type shit. I didn't even look at them, type shit. So that's the energy I perceived them with. Like that's the perspective I was coming at him with when it came to like him and like women and shit like that. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
he's not even attracted to him. He's not even worried about him. He's not even paying him any mind.
So you weren't there when he cussed Efru out about being up in Sauce Poppy's face?
You talk about on live where he was like, "You my bitch, you my motherfucking bitch." You talking about that?
When he slapped the shit out of her and told her to stay out of niggas' faces.
No, I was not present for that, but I was present for when he was like, I was watching the live when he was like, "You," because he always traveled. I did watch that live when he was like, "You my bitch" and all this shit, like say you my bitch and all this, but not when he was slapping shit at her and
Oh no no
saying,
no 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 no! This was at the house in Atlanta when he told her when he got mad at her and he's like, "What was you doing up in that nigga?" After they came back from a party that Sauce Poppy had given, he told her, "What was you doing all up in that nigga face? You got a crush on that nigga? You think that nigga look good?" She said he's handsome, but she was gonna say but, but before she had a chance to say but, he knocked the shit out of her.
"Nah, I didn't see that. Hell no, I was busy. I'm not gonna sit here in front to y'all like motherfuckers kept me
Right.
busy. I'm not gonna lie, like I was editing like a lot of the videos I edited, a lot of the thumbnails I created. I'm talented with the computer, so like nigga had me on the computer too. Outside of just doing music, outside I was doing that. I was doing music. Outside of music, I was doing like the grunt work and shit like that, like everything else. So I was motherfucking busy. A lot of the lives I missed because I was not paying attention to that shit. Cause there was no way I could goddamn keep up with that shit. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Okay, I definitely understand that. So you don't know anything about that. Okay. Let me go to the next question. Miss Curtis asked, "Did you ever witness the abuse to Malia and Afro?"
Hell yeah, I seen him hit Efru. I seen him slap Malia. I seen him that one time they had when she was on live when he was cussing her out on Twitter and all that shit. Um, and I heard about stories that were concerning, like the whole shit. Like when you can tell when somebody just went through something. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they said anything, but you can tell. Because like we would be in separate houses, so like a lot of the times, like he would be off, but like you can kind of tell if somebody like just went through something, like just unspokenly knowing, like so not just me seeing that couple instances, but like just the energy that they carried while they was around him was like fearful. So like it would have to be some type of violence going on, because why would anyone be moving like kind of scary or cautiously around you, like to the point of like they can't even speak their mind freely without having to think that, like I said, even me, nigga, I was walking on ice. I'd be like, that's why I stayed away, nigga. I'm like, I ain't about to be in one of them type of situations where this nigga get mad and try to like do some shit or like get in my face and all of that type shit. Or like, hell no, I ain't about to go through that, nigga. Like, you see my fucking face? Hell no.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
What
Tone
was
said, "Have you seen the video with Kino?"
now? I don't know who the fuck that is. Y'all have to elaborate.
Tone, what video are you talking about? Sauce Poppy came later towards the end from Big O. Yeah, we know that, Tone. Did Pi's mom watch Nature Boy 2 before going?
My mother? No.
Yeah, did your mom watch Nature Boy before
A
you went?
little, not but like not no fucking like I was watching no shit like that. I mean, no.
Okay. Pice said she said I always thought she introduced Pice to carbonation, but I could be
No,
wrong.
I
Did your mom
introduced
introduce you to
myself.
carbonation?
I mean, hell no. I don't know why people would think that. I mean, I literally just explained earlier in the video, earlier in the interview, how the fuck I joined. Like, no.
Okay. Mrs. Curtis wants to know, did Nature Boy really hate Efru?
He probably hated every fucking body there, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Yeah, he hated her.
Right.
And everybody fucking knows.
How did he treat Efru off camera?
It was flip floppy. He's a like I said, he has personality disorders. We all know this. So like at times it'll be like shit. At times it'll be like, oh, she's a fucking queen.
Damn. Like he did everybody else. Okay, thought he said
Right.
with no disrespect. So Solar said today that your nose was broken twice by by Loyal. So was the rumor true about your nose? Is the incident true about your nose?
Man, hell no, nigga. Like I got into a fight maybe like this is before carbonation. Y'all niggas think that my nose is broken in carbonation, all this other shit. Hell fucking no. Hell no. This nigga didn't even when I fought Loyal, this was way, way, way in Puerto Rico. And people was already been saying something wrong with my nose and all that shit. It's cause I got into some fights before I even joined carbonation. Ben had that shit. Ben had war scars, fighting scars, whatever you want to call that shit. Ben.
Damn. Okay, that's fair. Why did Nature Boy label Pice as the gatekeeper?
Like I said, I think it was two different things. It was because niggas was trolling, and he probably in his little sick mind was like, maybe we could like I can make it a real fucking thing. Like, let me just see if I can coerce him into thinking like if everybody else is thinking like, you know what I mean? If I can get the world to think that he bisexual, maybe I can manipulate him and thinking he bisexual so I can do something with the nigga. But like, hell no, he labeled me as a gatekeeper because. But you know what he also said to me personally one time? He was like, he basically called me out. He was like, I'm pretty sure this nigga was probably fed up with me trolling. He was like, nigga, stop fucking trying to get attention, bro. He was like, stop trying to get fucking attention, nigga. You not even like that, bro.
Damn. Okay. Some Miss Curtis said the time when Malia was off camera and came back swollen was she being held in the room and starved from food.
Hell no. Nobody was ever starved from food. Niggas is just let me give y'all an example of what the fuck was going on so y'all can actually understand. I believe it was in Germany. They did like some type of experiment with children, and basically they had two groups of adolescents, and then one of them they fed nutritional food, one of them they didn't really feed them the highest quality food. But the difference in the two subjects is they actually was attentive to one, and the other one they ignored. And the people that they ignored, they were feeding them the best of best food. The people that they treated like shit didn't give them no attention, didn't give them no conversation, didn't give them no love, didn't give them no time of the day, was feeding the best food. The niggas lost weight. The people that were kind of like getting kind of good food that they gave attention to, conversation, love, good nights, good morning, conversation, time to play, and all that type of shit, gained fucking weight. It doesn't matter if you're eating the best fucking food. If you're being fucking psychologically abused, you gonna lose fucking weight out of stress. Niggas look like that because niggas was getting psychologically abused.
Damn. Damn. Okay. What did she say? Pice was sitting on the couch with Sonny and said he has his woman and now all he need is his man.
Like I said, that shit
Was
was
he
for
just
views.
going along with
If
Nature
you,
Boy?
yeah, nigga, that was for views, my nigga. Like I just keep like I I don't want to answer that no more, but I get it. Y'all niggas is wondering, but I'll say this shit for the
Mhm.
umpteenth fucking time. That shit was for views. I was dropping a song the next day, and I did.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any more questions? Part three. Part three is going to go more into Loyal's death, and we're going to talk really in depth about the court case and with Pice notes, and we're going to backtrack on some things because I told you guys this interview was going to be long as hell, and I don't want to drain him. I don't want to drain myself, and I definitely don't want to drain you guys. Okay, so does anybody have any more questions before we go ahead and go into a public live? Yes, this is part one, Puff, and we got a whole nother part to do, baby. We not nowhere near done. There's so many things. I still haven't even. I gotta backtrack and go back into when they were in Mexico, things that happened that took place, things that happened in
Yeah,
certain
Mexico was
countries.
traumatizing. Mexico was
Yes,
traumatizing.
and it is. It is, and I don't want to. I don't want to drain you because I'm gonna
I'm
take you
not. I
back.
want to let you
I'm
know.
gonna-
I want to let you know that I have energy for fucking days to talk about this shit. Not only is
Okay,
it therapeutic for me, but it clears up a
no,
lot of shit.
Real Beauty. You guys have already paid.
And them niggas is nosy, so they
You guys
want to
get
get
the whole
more.
interview, part one, part one, and part two. Yes.
Yeah, like if you
Yeah.
got any more questions, if you're tired, by all means. But I'm not.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into some more things and shit while we here. Y'all ready?
You feel me? I'll answer all this shit.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you one more. I'm gonna ask you, but then I do want to go into a couple of more incidents that happened. Okay. But and I know my recorder, she has to go in a minute too, so that's why. Okay. So I got a question really quick. Will you be testifying against Nature Boy? Yes or no? Because I told that you were going to be testifying. Now, is that true? Yes or no?
No,
Okay, so you're not going to testify at all. If the district attorneys subpoena you, are you going to testify at that point in time? Thank you.
no, no. And the reason why is because I feel like that would be a waste of my time because they got hella evidence already. That would just be
So,
like,
can you tell the people what evidence that they have besides the evidence that I've already shown? Go ahead and tell them what they have that you know.
man, listen, man, listen. When we got raided, there was a camera. On the camera, right, is at least a week and a half of footage that was not able to be offloaded into the hard drives, right? So they have not only the hard drives that have everything, they have the hard drives, and the hard drives is months and months of psychological abuse and dumb shit. So the week of just on the memory card, like the week and a half just on the memory card
You guys
includes
heard the memory card.
what
Go
the
ahead.
memory card includes the fucking Janae situation where she was about to get when she was about to leave right before she got raped. So they the police all they got to do is look at that situation and be like, well, boom, there's evidence right here of him trying to coerce her and like treat her like shit and like have the women slap like try to slap her and fight her and all of this other dumbass shit. Like they had not only that, they probably have conversations but they have conversations behind the scenes of him saying wild ass shit to people like when the white boy came, when the fucking like treating the white boy like shit, psychologically abusing the white boy. They have a whole bunch of evidence of like psychological abuse right there and even physical abuse because he's the one that's ordering the shit. So it's like the shit is crazy. Like him smoking weed, all that type of shit, like illegally, all the type of different shit is on there. Like from that little week and a half, it's hella shit. But not only do they have that, nigga, they got the hard drives. Nigga, the hard drives. Oh my god, nigga, the hard drives probably got porn on that bitch. The hard drives probably got all different type of shit. Like everything was documented. You know what I mean? Because niggas wanted to have behind the scenes for documentaries and shit like that. Because Netflix was setting us up, documentary people were setting us up too. So it's like we was trying to get all the footage we can get and a lot of shit because this nigga's an idiot and because he thought he can get away with so much shit, he was just free as a motherfucker doing dumbass psychological abusing ass psychotic ass shit. Like so, it's like nigga false imprisonment right there got charged with false imprisonment right there. They got um rape. They got motherfucking gaslighting is illegal. They got that a whole bunch of shit. It's like nigga, they got all the evidence in the world. So why the and they have other testifiers. I don't know what the actual name for plural word testify is, but they got hella people to testify already. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't have time for that shit. I got my own life I'm living. I'm not about to get myself involved. I'm already was a part of it. I'm good. They got the evidence they need. They got the laptops too. They got Solar laptop. Boom. Solar laptop probably got the most evidence as far as the financial side of shit. Like they can sit there and probably backtrack some more shit like outside of his beats that's already on there. Like they could probably But I don't know because he wiped the computer. But in Puerto Rico before we even went to Atlanta, so they might not have shit on there. But like, if they did anything legally, financially in Atlanta on some shit, like they got evidence, they got the paper trail on the money. So it's like, my nigga, like I don't even have time to do that shit.
Swallow. Okay. Hold on a minute. Come here. I got to do another one. Okay, so I have another question.
Uh-huh.
The camera, the camera
Mm-hmm.
that has a camel pattern on it or camouflage pattern on it. Where's
Mm-hmm.
that camera?
I don't know where I don't know where that fucking camera is. I would believe that they have it, but like the camera that was
You know
used,
what camera I'm talking about?
yeah, I know what camera you talking about. I would think that I thought they fucking had that shit, cause like we didn't have no fucking cameras when they came through and raided afterwards. We didn't have no goddamn cameras. Only thing we got them had was our phones.
But that camera was there before they raided, right?
Everything was there before they raided. Yeah.
Okay. So the cam what tell me what was on that camera, the camouflage camera. What exactly was on that camera in particular? Because there is a warrant for that camera.
Well, probably this is probably why they want the camera. The reason why the camera is probably in question is because the actual camera, this is probably just some evidence that they want. They just want some extra evidence. But like the camera that was actually used on a daily basis, more than the camouflage camera, the black camera, the one that was actually like used frequently, like daily, they got that shit. It probably was on camera. The main camera probably caught the side camera, if that makes sense. And now they're like, oh, what's on that camera? Let's go, let's get a warrant for that camera. Let's see if we can get anything else. The main camera they have,
Okay, the
I was there.
PPP loans are not important, Miss Curtis. This has nothing to do. The PPP loans have nothing to do with nothing. He didn't do the PPP loans. I know who did them, and we're not going to talk about them. Okay, moving right along. You said the black camera, the main camera, caught the get off of me, caught the camel camera, right?
Probably so. Basically, what I'm
Did,
trying to tell y'all is the police probably want extra information.
yeah.
Cause I know for a absolute fact, 1010%, the main camera that was used was the black Canon camera. Like, and they got that shit. It's not even like I'm snitching or no shit like that. They actually got that bitch. They raided and got that motherfucker. So it's like plus the memory card, plus the hard drives.
Okay. Yeah, the memory card is another one. It's a memory card. I think that has 128 megabytes or gigabytes. I have to look at it again. But that memory card in itself, I know that they have it, but they needed a what do you call it? A search warrant so they can view it.
Yeah,
So,
so it's like all they gotta do is open that bitch up. There you go. Some more evidence.
is there things on those cameras that could convict other people in the tribe?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it will all based off what they view will be like blamed on him, the mastermind.
Say
Like if
that
it was
one
a
more
Rico case,
time.
like for example, if it was a Rico case, which they are trying to build, I believe so. I think that they would just blame it on him. I don't think anybody else would be convicted. I think that the women were dumb enough to do that little drone shit. They like, okay, well, we go with the women. They did some illegal shit. Like they getting the fuck up out of here. But everybody else is a victim.
Right. Absolutely. I do believe that all you guys were victims because you guys went there for one reason. But anyways, I agree with you on that. Okay, so Tone said, what was going on behind the scenes when Pop Marquez popped up?
This nigga was basically
Was
bugging. He
Nature
was
Boy
like,
scared?
nah, he wasn't scared. He was like, just like upset. Like thought niggas was trying him and some more shit. This nigga was basically being extreme in his nature. So Yeah, like it wasn't like I like what do you guys mean like in terms of what like how he behaved, what he did, what he said, like he behaved like he normally behaved on like an extremer version of the shit. Like motherfucker was always agitated and shit like that. He was highly focused on how other people perceived him and how he was just highly, highly online at that point.